This is Keith at 50th Street Studio. Hi, how you doing? We'll be starting the Little Rascals live stream for our Saturday movie in a few minutes. Boy, I need to adjust the color on this thing. Look at this. We'll get started shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to play some music, play our regular slideshow. Crank down the color intensity there. And see you in a few. Alright, enough of this nonsense. It's time to get tonight's live stream started. Let me switch over to the correct camera. There we go. Hi everybody, I'm Keith at 50th Street Studio. It's time for the Saturday public domain movie. This Miranda, hi Miranda, just came in watching us on Twitch. I've got I put out all the notices on Facebook and everything. I'm still bothering with Facebook, even though I always say I'm not going to. It looks like my microphone is working properly and everything. What we're going to be watching tonight is going to be a marathon of classic Little Rascals films. And by Little Rascals, I do not mean the 1990s movie. I mean, of course, the classic. Okay, Miranda donated 20. Thank you. Thank you, Miranda. Miranda was out here at the studio with me last night, just being here with me while I used the ladder, because I've become notorious in recent months for losing my balance, and I just wanted to have somebody here watching while I did stuff. So thank you for coming out, Miranda, and thank you again for your donation and your loyalty and your support, and everybody else who happens to be watching. Now, see, I don't know who's watching right now. Clearly, Miranda's watching on Twitch, but Restream is telling me that nobody's watching. So, Restream is going to be troublesome tonight, as far as telling me. Larry is here. Larry just came in. I was talking to Larry. I was talking about you last night with Miranda here, and then I said, Larry, the Larry I'm talking about is the same guy from the live stream. And she said, oh, I was about to say, is this the same Larry from the live stream? Yeah, yeah, it is. Well, okay. Miranda and I were both pretty down last night. I'm getting more and more down. My mental health and emotional health is declining pretty rapidly. There's so much anxiety. I think you can tell just by looking at me, but both of us were pretty down last night when we met. So I told her to get out her cell phone and turn on YouTube and start watching Bigfoot and Wild Boy, a really bad Sid and Marty Krofft show from the 1970s, and there's a lot of them on YouTube now, and that cheered her right up. I've determined that I may have to do a Bigfoot and Wild Boy marathon at some point. Do a bad Saturday morning marathon, because Bigfoot and Wild Boy is it's some of the worst television ever made, but it's hilariously bad. It's one of those bad things that's great fun to watch, and that's what counts ultimately, right? So hopefully we'll have some more people coming in. So the donation thing here is already inaccurate. If we've got if Miranda made a donation, which she did, so it should be 215. We're only halfway through May. It seems like the month of May has been the longest month of my life, I think. And we're only half through. We still have a whole 2 weeks left. It's like all the time in the world. It's like, I'm worried about the things that I need to get done as far as moving stuff out of here, and most of the stuff is already out of here. We've got all the time in the world. It's astonishing, isn't it? How you doing, Larry? How you holding up? Is virtual school let out already, or is there still virtual school going on? Larry is a high school teacher in Las Vegas, of all places. Larry and I have known each other since the 1980s. He never thought he would end up in Las Vegas. One more week, he says. And I've got a whole bunch of emails here. Oh, it's just Twitch telling me that that our live stream has started. Yes, I know the live stream has started. All right, boy, I'm so low key these days. I wanted to. I was wondering about what to show, and boy, the light reflecting off my forehead is crazy. How does the picture look? How does the look when I lean in? All the color washes out. Does everyone else see that? Then I lean back and there's bright red colors. These webcams are. Miranda says because you were high key before. Was I? Was I high strung before? Now I'm just exhausted. But I decided to show Little Rascals because it was a thing I had in the back of my mind. But then after showing the Buster Keaton film, which was silent, and Miranda told me later that the silent films really worked. It really worked well for the stream. And I said, yeah, you're right. And I knew that there were some really early Little Rascals I wanted to show that were silent, and I'm going to start with that. There will be 2 Little Rascals films I'm going to show that are silent, and then there'll be 2 more after that. And these films are long. They're like 20 minutes long, so we're only going to be able to show 4 of them. Larry is an expert on film history and consequently on Little Rascals, and I asked him, I texted him, do you have some suggestions? And he immediately came back. Remember, this is by texting on telephone. He immediately came back with like a list of 7 films that he knew by name, by heart. So, well, Miranda says, I know literally nothing about this. I'm excited. Well, that's what this is for. The Little Rascals were started by Hal Roach in 1922, in the heart of the silent era. Hal Roach was a film producer during the silent era, and he continued to work through the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, doing short comedies. He's the guy who discovered Laurel and Hardy and put them together. Before the Buster Keaton film 2 weeks ago, I showed that short film called A Pair of Tights with Marion Byron and Anita Garvin. That was a Hal Roach film. He had put the 2 of them together. And in one of these silent Little Rascals films, you'll see Anita Garvin. I'll point her out if you don't spot her. But I was watching it the other day, and I was like, "That's Anita Garvin. I recognize. I know who she is now." But when Hal Roach created this series, there were plenty of silent films being produced, but there really weren't any films that starred children. Anytime there were children in films, they tended to be just comedy relief. They were just props. This was the first film series that starred children and it was about children doing things, and it was about the children were portrayed realistically. They were running around town loose, on their own, creating havoc. It really is a hallmark of popular culture in the late 19th century and especially the 20th century, where children became people of their own, where culture started to realize that children have lives of their own, they have culture of their own, especially when life in the 20th century became more stable than it's ever been in history, and there's lots of children and neighborhoods full of children. They developed their own subculture, and the Little Rascals film series was the first to show that. And the cast was huge. It was made up mostly of children of people who worked for Hal Roach and his company. Not kids who were actors by profession already. They became professional actors. And the first Little Rascals film, which I'm going to show you, is a lost film. And this was I remember reading about this, but I got it mixed up. There were several films that were filmed and made. I don't recall whether this was the first one released or if it was the first one filmed, and if there were others released first. Whatever the case, I think this was the first one that was filmed, and it was titled Our Gang. So the term Our Gang was the name of the film series. The Little Rascals were the actors, the players, It was the Our Gang films starring Hal Roach's Little Rascals. That's where the confusion about the name of the series comes from. He had actually started to create a film series, a comedy short film series called Sammy Sunshine, starring a little black boy. And theater owners didn't want to run it. He made one film and distributed it to the theater owners, and they didn't want to run it. They didn't want to show a whole film series about a little black boy, which is unfortunate. But it indicates how forward-thinking Hal Roach was. A lot of his films were really racist, super racist and super misogynist. He did a lot of racist and misogynist things, but he was much more forward-thinking than everybody else in the industry, and that has to be acknowledged. So he couldn't use the Little Sammy Sunshine series, so he added a whole pile of other kids and made the film Our Gang about a bunch of kids, one of whom was Sammy Sunshine, and you'll see him. I'll point him out. This film is considered a lost film. The thing that I'm about to show you, which I got from YouTube, was put together from bits and pieces of copies, mostly from home movies, like 8mm Super 8 films that were made to sell to people who had projectors, film projectors at home. And as long as the film is, most of it is still lost. But it really is surprising, and I said this when I showed the Buster Keaton film, it really is surprising how funny these things are, how funny this physical comedy can be, and how good these kids are at what they're doing. Who all's here? Everybody say hello, because Restream is telling me that there's nobody watching. It says 0, but I know there's people watching. Maybe I should restart the Restream. Larry says, I highly recommend a book called Our Gang, A Racial History of the Little Rascals. Okay. Yeah, Larry is the one, he's the go-to guy for the history. A book called Our Gang, A Racial History of the Little Rascals. Okay. You have a copy of it on your shelf, don't you, Larry? I bet you're looking at it right now. Larry doesn't own very much. All of his stuff can fit in his little car with him and his dog. But I guarantee you, half that stuff is books about film history. You drove that film all the way across the country from Maryland to Las Vegas with you, didn't you? Okay. Well, Miranda, you've met the right guy to teach you about the Little Rascals, and that's Larry. Okay. I'm wondering if I should start. Is it just Miranda and Larry? I hope not, because I want more people to see this stuff. Larry says, you know me too well. Yeah, of course I do. Larry, while one of the biggest stars over the years of the Little Rascals series was Spanky McFarlane, the character Spanky. If anybody knows any names from the Little Rascals, it's going to be Spanky and Buckwheat and Alfalfa. And Spanky was the star. Larry met Spanky McFarlane once. Tell him that story. If I recall, you were standing in line in downtown Houston at the Alley Theater for some event or something. It was either the Alley Theater or the Houston Opera or something. You were standing in line, and there was a man in line, and you recognized him as Spanky from Little Rascals, even though it was 50 years later. It was Jones Hall in the concession line. Oh, the concession line. Okay. He actually recognized Spanky McFarlane. Larry says he looked the same. I've seen pictures, plenty of pictures and video of the guy as an adult now, and I don't think he looks the same. So I don't know. I don't know what you were thinking, but it was in the concession line. That's funny. Spanky was getting some popcorn. Okay, the Restream website looks like it's functioning better. It says there's 2 people watching on Twitch and 1 person watching on YouTube. Whoever's watching on YouTube, please say hello. Larry says, go on YouTube and watch his cameo appearance on Cheers. It's very funny. Was he on Cheers? I was a huge fan of Cheers. I watched that show incessantly during the early seasons. And if I ever knew that he was on that show, I've forgotten it. Okay. Minnesota Lakes says, hello, I absolutely love watching the Little Rascals on Saturday mornings when I was a kid. Yeah, Minnesota Lakes. Remind me your name, Minnesota Lakes. I know who you are because we've talked before. You've come to see our things. Larry says, it's a brief but memorable appearance. There were a lot of guest stars on Cheers. That's amazing. Spanky McFarlane on Cheers. That was one of my favorite shows. When Michelle, it's Michelle at Minnesota Lakes. Okay. And you were Michelle. You were recommended to 50th Street by one of our vendors, right? Didn't someone send you over? Okay, we've got 3 people watching on Twitch now, and it's not me, so I hope that's some other visitor. Say hello in the chat. But when I was a fan of Cheers before it officially started, actually, because I was. During the summer, the networks would. Who's this? The networks would on some random evening, some random weekday evening. Oh, Larry sent me a photo of Spanky McFarlane sitting next to Cliff Clavin, the mailman. I can't get the camera to focus on it. Well, whatever. So yeah, Larry was ready with that. But yeah, the networks would experiment with new shows that weren't scheduled for the fall yet, but they would they would film a first episode. They would call it a pilot episode, and then show it. Oh right, yeah. Michelle was the House of Stairs sticker. Yeah, you were looking for the you were looking for book reviews. Michelle, I'm actually going to be starting up the book reviews again. If you're following the ThinkBolt channel on YouTube, then you already know that because I posted a thing about that. Yeah, James came in. James just came in. James, our loyal viewer. Welcome, James. We're going to be seeing some Little Rascals. Hope you have fun. I'm going to close my Restream viewer and restart it. See if it can. See if it'll start giving me correct numbers on the viewers here. Anyway, what was I saying? But yeah, one random Thursday evening during the summer. Okay, yeah, now it's telling me there's 6 people watching. Okay, yeah, good. I was watching TV one Thursday evening and on NBC, and then a thing came up, says special pilot episode. And I said, okay, what's this? What's this going to be? And it was the first episode of Cheers. And immediately, from the first scene before the theme song, I was like, this is good. I really like this. And then in the fall, I started seeing commercials for a new series called Cheers. And when the first episode re-aired, starting the series, I made my whole family sit down and watch it. I said, you got to see this. This is good. Cheers was exceptionally good from the very beginning. It was one of those rare television shows that was written out and planned from the start. And the first 2 or 3 seasons were like one complete story arc that was it was really exceptional. After that, it became more of a typical sitcom with people walking in, telling a joke, and blah blah blah. But it was a very well crafted show. Okay, we've got 6 people watching now. Everybody, please say hello again. Let me know who's still watching. We got 5 people on Twitch, 1 person on YouTube. Yeah, since I restarted my Restream chatter here, I don't see the chats that were up there before, and I might have missed a couple. Anyway, we're gonna start Little Rascals. Let me put in my earphones. These are silent films. I don't need to have my ears on. There is music on the videos here. But, James says hello again. Hi, how you doing, James? This is going to be great fun. You see here, this is 1922. the first Little Rascals film, and the title of it is Our Gang. The So the title Our Gang, I'll repeat what I said before. The title Our Gang is the name of the first film, and it was so popular that people started calling them the Our Gang films. You know, they would say to the theater owners, "Are you going to show another one of those Our Gang films? We like that Our Gang film." That's how things get titled like that. So the film series was called Our Gang, and the cast of characters who played in them, the cast of kids, were called the Little Rascals. I'm going to turn down the music a bit. The film is, oh no, this is only 12 minutes long. Flora was becoming a typical daughter of Eve. It's amazing. Jimmy was a growing lad, nearly 6, but he'd still a soft spot in his heart for the kids. It is amazing how many children there are in this, even in this first film. All of them unknowns, and all of them not professional actors, as I was saying earlier. Okay, Jimmy's got a plot to get the girl's attention. Oh no! I'll save the day. Michelle says she liked Darla. Darla will appear later. This film series went on for like 30 years, so the kids had to be changed out regularly. My hero. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. You saved my only child. But as I was saying before, all of these kids were just children of people who worked for Hal Roach, people who, crew members, people who worked on staff. Now, what's going on here? Okay. He has to wear the cartoon barrel while his mom washes his clothes. I think this is Sammy Sunshine. I think this is the kid that was supposed to star in the Sammy Sunshine series. Ah, come on, Snowy, we'll get you some clothes. Somehow he's communicating with that donkey over there. He was doing semaphore with it. Okay, he's got the big pants on, holding them up over his head, and whoa! Ghost pants. It's amazing how much stuff happens in this film. There's only 12 minutes of it. Okay, here's Jimmy and the little girl, and they're spotting this other kid here. Oh, her eyelids are fluttering. Patrick Melrose, patrician, model boy, and apple of his mother's eye. Patrician. Oh, look at this kid. Uh-oh. Psst. Say, Jimmy, tain't what you do what counts, it's what you wear. Jimmy's got to get cleaned up. His clothes will fit me. Let's throw them down and borrow them. So Sammy and the gang have a plot to beat up little boy Blue over here and take his clothes. The girl's hair changed? Michelle says the girl's hair changed. Well, I'll take your word for it. I wasn't paying attention. Uh-oh. Bang, bang, bang. But... wah, wah. Oh, boy. I bet you he could lick Samson. We got to get him to join our gang. Okay. Okay, the plot has changed. They're carefully approaching him. Whoa! Call it quits, Pat. Let's be pals. Truce. How could I be a bank robber with these clothes? Ah, the gang wants to rob banks. I can't get over how funny this is. I've seen this several times now, and it's hilariously funny. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh, they see Little Boy Blue's clothes there. Uh-oh. Whoa! What a mix-up. Oh my god, his hair. This is great filmmaking too. Great performances from these kids. She's like, oh my god. Hey, here comes Jimmy again. Jimmy, oh Jimmy. Phew. Why does the rest of the gang care about Pat's girlfriend? I thought they recruited him to rob banks. Women is all alike, you can't trust them. An hour later, the general store bought and owned for by Mary Jane. Michelle says, I think I enjoyed it even more as an adult. You would not have seen these silent ones on TV, which is unfortunate. So the kids go over to the general store owned by Mary Jane, and the landlord is shaking her down for rent. So, new plot. The kids are going to help Mary Jane. We'll see what my brother can do, Mr. Jacobson. Times are hard, and your shop over, by the way, takes all my customers. So the landlord's set up his own shop across the street and is stealing our customers. Whoops. They've got the horse in on this too. We knew about the mule, now we've got the horse too. And this is in Los Angeles, by the way. This isn't, let's get some customers. We can't let Mary Jane starve. Miranda says, good to know the landlords have always been the same. Well, I don't know if it's good to know. She says, don't cry, Mary. I've got a great idea. Oh, Mary. Oh, that's her mom who owns the shop. Okay. We know who Mary is. He's saying, spread out. And here's the dog. I don't know if the dog had a name yet. The Little Rascals always had a dog named Petey. Whoop. What's he doing here? What's the plot? What's the idea here? Go on, Bonzo. Go and bark before Jacobson's store. Ah, it's Bonzo. Okay, so he puts whipped cream all over the dog's mouth. tells him to run over to the store. Mad dog. Whoa. Michelle says, I like the use of all the different animals. Kids and critters, good combo. Yeah. Hal Roach knew how to make comedy. He knew that kids and animals would be funny. But as I was saying before we started, this series was the first time that there was a film series created that starred kids, where the kids were the stars. And you saw kids' lives behaving like real people. Kids had been in films, of course, before, but they were mostly just props. They were just comedy relief. It really is too bad Sammy Sunshine here didn't get his own film series. For those of you who came in late, Hal Roach had tried to start a film series starring Sammy Sunshine, the little black boy there, and the theater owners didn't want it. I must have something very smart for going out. We'll get the horse on that for you right away. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the horse will go steal a hat. Nobody will notice a horse. Here you go, complete with horse slobber. This is my latest style, Madame. Mary and her chums were so active the shop was soon overcrowded and they did a roaring trade. So they're doing delivery. Okay, rural free delivery. Now what's going on here? What's this chart thing he's got on the sidewalk? Oh, okay. Aim the mule. Aim the mule at somebody's house and kick the package across town. Okay, this drunk guy needs to get home. Boink. Thanks, kids. Wool soap. What? Mrs. Nickel received a pleasant surprise on returning to her store. Yay! I saw a sign that said wool soap. What is wool soap? Does anybody know what that is? I'm sure people can look it up real quick for me. Another thing that was remarkable about these Hal Roach films is even though Hal Roach made a great many films with racist, I tell you it's robbery, you've stolen my customers. He made a great many films that had racist, oh, he pulled a gun. He pulled a gun on Mary's mom. Kids aren't going to stand for this. Hand over your takings. Boink. He made a great many films that today would be regarded as heavily racist, but he was doing so many forward-thinking things, like having little black kids and little white kids together, not calling each other names, not discriminating against each other. They're all part of the gang, running around together, saving the day. And again, this is all, and for all we care, he may still be running. This was all filmed in the middle of Los Angeles, which by today's standards we would consider it rural. Wow, he's got all the dogs chasing after him. Okay, that was Little Rascals #1. Miranda says, didn't he just take off that jacket? Yeah, I think right when you said that, he was running around the fence, wasn't he? Larry says the schoolrooms in Our Gang films were always racially integrated, unlike real schools. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they never called the white kids never called the black kids any names. Never. And again, like 2 weeks ago when I showed the Marion Byron, Anita Garvin film, Hal Roach tried repeatedly to put together a successful comedy team of women to be like a female Laurel and Hardy. He tried repeatedly. He was making women stars of his film. He was making children the stars of his films. Black people, kids. He was doing all that stuff. The little Sammy Sunshine film series he tried to start. I was reading that the name of the first episode of the Sammy Sunshine film, the title of the first Sammy Sunshine film was The Pickaninny, which is, I'm sorry I said that word. It's not a word that I would normally ever use. It's a seriously racist word. But that was the name of the first film, even though he was very forward-thinking in creating a film series where the star is a little black boy. It has that name. But yeah, he was doing the good work. I don't know that much about Hal Roach as a person. I don't know if he was a good guy, a decent guy, or a jerk. I don't know. Larry may know a little bit more about that. Let's get right into who's still watching. It says I have 4 people watching here. Yeah, 3 people on Twitch, 1 people on YouTube, 1 people. If anybody's watching on Facebook, I don't know it. The Facebook commenting was working last couple of times. Okay, let's get right into the next one that I've picked out. It is oh, I thought I had another silent one to show. No. Yeah, I thought I picked another silent one, but no, this one, the next one I've got here is called Teacher's Pet. It's from 1930. This is 8 years later, an entirely different cast of kids. James says, I'm still watching. Good, James. Glad to see you. How are you doing, James? How are things? And all of us are, this is all wearing us down. All of us, we were talking earlier when I first started how just worn down all of us are. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm going to show the one called Teacher's Pet. This is one that Michelle, you will remember seeing on television when you were a kid. Because by 1930, everything was in sound. Let's see, where are we? Yeah. This one definitely has sound, so I'll need to listen in. And there's the familiar Little Rascals theme song. And watch this intro. We never got to see these on TV.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, Hal Roach presents for your entertainment and approval his Rascals in their latest R-Gang comedy entitled Teacher's Pet. Direction by Robert McGowan. Photography by Art Lloyd. Edited by Richard Currier. Recording by Elmer Regis. And dialogue by H.M. Walker. We thank you.
Wasn't that unusual? I certainly never saw those introductions on TV when I was a kid. They credited these two girls walk out on stage and credit everybody who produced the film. It's bizarre. And then they said Crabtree, it says. And they pointed out that it's Hal Roach's Rascals starring in Our Gang comedy. Here's Farina. A name and a face that we should all be familiar with.
We'll never get as good as Teacher as she'll get.
He said there'll never be a teacher as good as she again.
There's something goofy with anybody that's got a name like Crabtree.
This is Chubby.
I'm your new teacher, Miss Crabtree. Hee.
I'm your new teacher, Miss Crabtree. So the kids are sitting around waiting for the new teacher.
I bet she's skinny, pigeon-toed, got a wart right in her nose, just like this.
What was that? What did you just eat?
Yeah. And I heard my dad say she uses a system, too. Hey, what's a system? Search me, I never saw one. Why, a system's where they keep water.
System's where they keep water.
I keep my bullfrogs in my system. Yeah, the system's a good place to drown cats in, too.
Did he say drown cats?
I beg pardon? But you're Miss Crabtree from Poughkeepsie, the new schoolma'am, are you not?
Yes, this is my first day at the school. You see, I'm going to start with a little party.
Now, don't you worry. We'll have the ice cream and cake up to the school right on time.
I'm so anxious to have the children like me.
Like you, all right.
This guy can barely get his lines out.
Wow. I wouldn't mind going back to school again myself.
So Miss Crabtree is from Poughkeepsie.
Now remember, Weezer, when I blow my nose like this, you come in the schoolroom. I gotcha. You blow, me run in school. Now tell me exactly just what you're going to tell a new teacher. Mom, watch Jack come on right away. She's going to shoot Papa. No, that's too strong.
That's too strong.
Cut out the shoot.
Cut out the
Just
shooting.
say it's important business.
Important business.
Business. Yeah, boy, that's perfect. Let's go.
This is Jackie Cooper. And Weezer is playing his little brother this time. Michelle says she had her bubble gum on her nose. Okay.
Well, little fellow. What is your name?
Oh, my name's Jack.
Are you going to school?
Yeah, I'm going to school, all right, but only for one reason.
What is the one reason?
My dad said he'll tan me if I don't.
Well, get right in. I'm going that way.
My dad says he'll tan me if I don't. Can everybody hear okay? Is the dialogue clear? But what about Weezer? Where's Weezer?
Hey, did your dad ever take your britches down and tan you?
No, I don't think he ever did.
Well, take it from me, that's nothing to laugh at. Geez, this is a nifty truck, all right. How did you get it? Coupons?
No, I bought it.
Cash?
Certainly cash.
My dad says never pay for anything you can get on tick.
Tick?
Yeah, you know, installments. Pay once a month or they come and take it away.
Now tell me, why don't you want to go to school?
Oh, we're gonna have a new teacher today, and I know she's no battle axe, and I ain't gonna like her.
What makes you think so?
Oh, her name is Crabtree. Ain't that a terrible name for a school teacher?
No, I think it's rather nice.
I bet this picture's just what she looks like. I drawed it.
No, you drew it.
Michelle says I actually remember this one. Yeah, I knew you would remember
Oh,
this
I'm
one.
sure she doesn't look anything like that.
Well, she could never be as nice as Miss McGillicuddy was. Gee, she was swell. And now she's gone forever.
Oh, my. Did she die?
Nah, she got married. Well, us kids is gonna grab this Miss Crabtree plenty.
Oh, my. What are you going to do?
Well, Chubby's gonna bring a flock of red ants and put them all in the new teacher's chair.
Ooh.
And Trina's gonna bring some sneezing powder, and Bud has a white mouse.
White mouse.
And then we're all going swimming.
Well, will she let you go after that?
Of course not, but I got that all figured out. See?
No, I don't see.
Well, I got a plan. It worked once before.
Well, little man, this is as far as I'm going.
Jackie really dug himself a hole there.
Thanks for the lift, lady.
You're quite welcome, Jackie, dear.
Gee, you're pretty. You're almost as pretty as Miss McGillicuddy.
Wow, quite a compliment.
All except in your nose.
What?
Gee, I wish you was a teacher. We like you almost as much as Miss McGillicuddy.
Even with my nose?
You ain't got such a bad nose. Bye!
There's Weezer. We got a new viewer came in on YouTube.
Now listen, Hercules. You tell the teacher that our Pappy broke 2 of his legs. What, only 2? Yep. 2 be enough this time.
2 will be
Say,
enough this time.
sis, what are you going to tell the teacher to get me and Bud out?
I'm going to tell the teacher to let her cut off her finger. I'm going to tell the teacher to let her cut off her finger. I'm going to tell the teacher to let her cut off her finger.
Hey, wait a minute. Only cut off 1 finger.
Hey, wait a minute, only cut off 1 finger. Hey, wait a minute, only cut off 1 finger. Hey, wait a minute, only cut off 1 finger.
Oh, shut up.
What?
Oh, shut up.
You make me sick.
You make me sick.
Oh, gosh. What a woman.
Oh, gosh, what a woman.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, shut up.
I wonder if that plan of Jack's gonna work out all right. Sure, that fellow's got lots of brains.
Oh, sure, that's a lot to bring.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, shut up.
Here it comes now.
Here he comes now.
Hey, fellas, got everything ready? Sure, Jack. Here's my ant.
Oh, the red ants.
Yeah, and here's my sneezing powder. Here's my mouse.
And mouse. They got everything worked out. So Stymie is Farina's little brother here, apparently.
Yeah, she was beautiful. Long eyelashes, shiny fingernails. Say, she was almost as beautiful as Miss McGillicuddy. Oh, don't be silly. There ain't nobody as beautiful as Miss McGillicuddy.
Wow.
She's what my dad calls a pip.
A
You
pip.
said it.
You said
Well, this one was a pip, too.
The person you're seeing, Mr. Avid Viewer, was Farina. A minute ago, he was talking to Stymie. And apparently, Farina and Stymie are brothers in this one, because Farina was telling Stymie to come running in and say, "Dad both broke his legs." So all these kids have, yeah, Avid Viewer says, except for those. Well, thank you for coming in, Mr. Avid Viewer, whoever you are. Larry says the best thing about these early shots are the broad reaction shots. Yeah.
Good morning, children.
Jackie.
I wonder if you can guess who I am.
Yes, you are the teacher.
Yes, that's right. I am Miss Crabtree.
Whoops.
Toodaloo, Jack.
What's the matter? You got the bellyache?
No, that's the pip that gave me the ride. And did I tell her everything? Oh, boom.
Uh-oh.
Jackie.
The jig's up, kids.
No. Come right here.
Okay, Avid Viewer says it's Miss Avid Viewer. LOL. Okay.
How you do? You remember me, don't you?
And how?
And how?
What's the idea of the mask? Do you remember this? This is a picture of the new teacher. Who is Chubby?
Who's Chubby?
Fat one.
Oh, the fat one.
Chubby, will you please stand up? And Farina, will you stand, please?
How she know my name?
She know my
Who
name.
is the other little boy?
Buddy.
I understand you have presents for the new teacher.
Uh-oh.
You bring them to the desk.
Oh no. Red ants.
You big tattletale.
I didn't know.
You double crosser.
Oh, dang.
You're a fine pal, you are.
Fine pal you are.
I didn't know.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chubby's in trouble. pants are all over the room. Michelle says when I was little, my grandma put my hair up in rags like that. It made curls.
Now, children, I have a first day surprise for you. We're going to become better acquainted and have just lots of fun. I've ordered ice cream and lots of cake. And we're going to have a little party, and then I'm going to give you all a holiday.
Well, burn my clothes. She's just like Miss McGillicuddy, ain't she? Yeah.
Well, burn my clothes, he says.
Hey, I forgot all about Weezer.
Uh-oh.
Well, don't blow your nose, and he won't come in. Oh, Jack! Where you gonna blow your nose?
Sees this kid about to blow his nose. Oop. And blowing the nose is the signal. Okay, avid viewer says they better social distance with all those sneezes.
Jackie, what are you doing? Come right here, this instant. Now, just what is this all about?
What? Well, you see, I was to blow my nose, and Weezer was supposed to come in,
And
Golly,
you were going
Jackie.
swimming. Any little lady or gentleman that wishes may now use their handkerchief.
Fancy blows! Come on!
Hey, that's enough.
You're using buzzer sound effects.
You may now take your seat.
No, Weezer, no.
Well, little man, what is your name?
My name is Weezer.
Weezer? That's a nice name. And what is your name?
My name's Dorothy.
Dorothy. That's nice, too.
Mama wants Dad to come home right away. She's going to shoot Papa.
Oh.
She's gonna shoot Papa.
Nah, that's too strong. Important business. How's that, Jack?
Jackie is completely undone.
Who told you to tell me that?
Jack, of course.
Jack, of course. Jackie's 7-year-old life is ruined.
Then your mom isn't really going to shoot Papa, is she?
Of course not. She wanted to tell Miss Walker about her operation.
Huh?
Chubby told me to tell you it might have cut off her finger. Is that right, Chubby?
Chubby is just despondent at this
Rita
point.
told me my Peppy broke 2 of his legs.
Jackie, Verena, Chubby, and Buddy, come quickly. Something terrible has happened.
Yeah, everybody's busted.
Your mothers want you to come home right away.
Here's the ice cream and cake, Miss Crabtree.
Oh
Fine.
no!
We'll just set it right over there.
Wow, there's barrels full of it.
And you can start dishing it out to the children. I'm so sorry you can't stay for my party. You'll have to hurry right home.
Oh, gee, I changed my mind. I don't want to go home now. Me neither. Me neither.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but you'll have to.
No,
Come on. Oh, come on now. You'll have to go right home.
Captain Slinky came in. He says, where can I buy a barrel of ice cream like that? Thanks for coming in, Captain Slinky.
My pal. Yeah. What a fine snitcher he turned out to be. You said it, Chub. Stab your friends right in the back. Well, gee, fellas, she didn't wear no sign. How did I know she was Miss Crabtree? Listen, Jack, I'm going in there and fess up. I'm going to get in on that ice cream. Me too. I can't ever go back. I'm too ashamed. Well, I'm going in. Come on, fellas.
Michelle says Chubby looks like an adult as a kid. Yeah.
I wish I had some more. I like this vanilla better than I do chocolate, don't you, Bill? Boy, this is good.
All the little accomplices get ice cream.
Hey, Don. Jack sure done up things for himself. Yeah, I'll say.
He won't confess.
Man, I
He's
bet you Jack,
too ashamed.
Mother gives him a tannin'. I'm off to Jack for life. Hey, stop that.
James says, are you sure Farina's not a girl? Farina is not a girl. Look, I'll tell you about Farina afterward. Worst day ever.
Gee, you're pretty, Miss Crabtree. You're pretty, Miss McGillicuddy.
That was 20 minutes long. That was a 20-minute film. It was typical for short films back in the day to be 20 minutes long. It was typical for every movie to be preceded by a short film. Captain Slinky says Miss Crabtree is sending mixed signals here. Well, you missed out on the first half of the film. Jackie really blew it with her. Avid viewer says, "Yay!" Avid viewer, let us know how you found the stream, where you came from, how you found the stream. How did you know about 50th Street beforehand? Did somebody recommend you, or was it just a random find? Apparently, we have 7 people watching now. 4 people on Twitch. We got somebody on Mixer watching. Hi everybody on Mixer. 2 people on YouTube. That was the second installment of our Little Rascals marathon. That was Teacher's Pet from 1930. It was our first look at Jackie Cooper and Farina and Chubby and Weezer. What was Echo's name? Was it Marianne? Or it was Marianne, I think. Michelle says, so cute. Yeah. Remember, all these kids were mostly just the children of people who worked for Hal Roach. They weren't professional actors at all. And they did a tremendous job. Before we go on, I want to talk. Captain says, nice. Are you using Streamlabs multi-platform? I want to do that. Yeah, I am using it. And it works. It works really well. When I first started using it a couple of years ago, it was somewhat unreliable. When you have a better internet connection, it does work. It does work better. Plus, they've improved it quite a bit recently. Avid viewer says, random search. I've been watching my Little Rascals videos today, and I decided to do a search. Okay, well that's great. So YouTube actually sent you to us. That's great. There's a guy named Larry, who's an old friend of mine, who's watching now. He's a downright expert on Little Rascals. Before we started, there was a book he was recommending about the Little Rascals called The Racial History of the Little Rascals, I think it was called. Larry, pipe up and remind us what that was. Michelle says, welcome, avid reader. Avid viewer is the name. Michelle, did Google correct your typing there to avid reader? Because that's funny. Okay, before we go on, I did want to say something about Farina. James was asking if I was sure that Farina was actually a boy. But Farina was definitely a boy. His name was Alan Hoskins. He did more than 100 films for Little Rascals. See, Larry says, the name of the book is Our Gang, A Racial History of the Little Rascals by Julia Lee. It's terrific, he says. And Avid typed the word Kathy in there. Is that your name? Is that your name, Kathy? Captain Slinky says, dang it, Larry, now there's another book I need. But Farina's name was Alan Hoskins. He made more than 100 films for the Our Gang series. Larry says, I feel your pain, and then he put a smiley face on there. So, but Alan Hoskins, a.k.a. Farina, went on to be very influential and important in the rehabilitation industry. He, let's see, he was in the Army in World War II. He volunteered in 1940, shortly before the first draft. He was 25 at the end of the war. He was questioned by McCarthy during the House Un-American Activities garbage during the 1950s. He had attended some dances when he was a kid that was sponsored by the Young Communist League. Yeah, it's all that nonsense. Let's see. I need to get back on track about the rehabilitation and training industry. The Sonoma State Hospital in Eldridge, California. He was the sheltered workshop director. He started the Weekend House, an evening and weekend training and counseling centers for disabled people. And he wrote, the beginnings of future problems, if not met now, can and will develop into serious community problems that, left to its own uncontrolled development, will lead to the type of area and social breakdown that have been experienced by other communities in the past. There are no parks or recreational facilities in this district. So he was a big social activist, and he led the he was a convention. He was the president of the convention. He was president of the what was the name of the association? I've lost my place here. Yeah, I can't find the names of these organizations. He says, the hardest thing is to convince manufacturers that we can do a specific job. Once we have successfully been on a contract, a plant manager usually is impressed with the quality of our work and the ability of our workers. We believe a job is the glue that holds people together. So he wasn't just serving disabled community and people with special needs. He was all about jobs and about manufacturing and finding jobs for the community. He was a good guy. Avid says that Echo was Dorothy DeBorba. Yeah. She was underused in the Little Rascals. She should have been in many more of those films. She was very talented. Avid also says Farina seemed to be a good guy. He was. And Michelle says, yeah, good morals. And he did all of that without making use of his fame as Farina. James says I've got the says that McCarthy was not the House Un-American Activities Committee. He says that was chaired, I guess, by Martin Dies. Okay. Michelle says agree with you. Chaired, I mean not chawed. Yeah. And Avid says some kids made much of their fame, but sadly some died very young. There's all this talk about there being a curse of the Little Rascals, how so many of them grew up to have tragic endings. But when you look at how many children there were involved in the Little Rascals over the years, and how people in the early 20th century didn't live as long as we did growing up in the second half. So people did tend to die younger no matter what. Plus there was World War II. And Avid says that Dorothy was active in later years in the Rascals reunion, so that's good. So yeah, there wasn't, statistically speaking, there wasn't, the various kids who played in the Little Rascals weren't worse off than everybody else. But I also wanted to talk about Jackie Cooper for a minute, because the little boy who played Jackie there, he went on. He continued to act throughout his life. He became known to subsequent generations as in different parts, and even in my generation. Here's a clip from the first Superman movie, 1979.
Murder case, the way I see it, it's a banner headline, front page, maybe a picture.
There's only one P in rapist. Lois Lane, say hello to Clark Kent. Told you one P.
So that's him playing Perry White, and he looks exactly the same 50 years later.
How you doing? Jimmy Olsen, photographer.
Oh, hi. Clark Kent. Nice to meet you.
It's got everything. It's got sex, it's got violence, it's got the ethnic angle. I mean, look
Yeah,
at
so
it.
is a lady wrestler with a foreign accent. Ken, can you open this?
Oh, sure, Mr. White.
But this could be the basis for a whole series of articles. Making sense of senseless killings by Lois Lane. I mean, we get psychologists, we get sociologists, we get...
Lois, you're
the
pushing a
victims,
bunch of
we get everything.
rinky-dink tabloid garbage. The Daily Planet has a position.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shake it up like that.
Oh, well, of course not, Lois. I mean, why would anyone want to make a total stranger look like a fool?
I'll take that.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. White.
Olson, why am I paying you $40 a week when I should have you arrested for loitering? Go get Mr.
Kent.
a towel. Move, kid, move.
Right, Chief.
And make mine black and no sugar.
Right, Chief.
And don't call me sugar.
Blood is proper.
Right, Chief. Sugar. Chief wants coffee, no sugar. Take the tea with lemon.
Lois, why don't you take Kent out to meet everybody, huh? Just introduce him around.
Yeah.
He's starting with the paper today. I'm giving him the city beat.
Chief, that's my beat.
Lois, Clark Kent may seem like just a mild-mannered reporter, but listen, not only does he know how to treat his editor-in-chief with the proper respect, not only does he have a snappy, punchy prose style, but he is, in my 40 years in this business, the fastest typist I've ever seen.
Excuse me.
Here, you forgot my article.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. White. I was wondering if perhaps you could arrange for half my salary to be sent to this address on a weekly basis.
Your bookie, right?
A what?
Don't tell me. He sends a check every week to his sweet gray-haired old mother.
Actually, she's silver-haired.
I played out that whole scene because I love the scene. So Jackie Cooper, for my generation, he represented Little Rascals and Perry White in Superman. And I also wanted to let that scene play out because the notion that these modern Marvel movies invented that invented that snappy patter style, that funny camaraderie that we've gotten used to. Superman was doing that in 1979, and Jackie Cooper was there. James says he lived to 88 and he was captain in the Naval Reserve. Okay. James, I know you were military. Were you Navy? James says Hennessy in between. All right, let's move on to the next Little Rascals film. Avid says not a fan of Marvel movies. Okay. For the longest time, I always encourage people to avoid those movies because Marvel and Disney have such a terrible reputation for not paying artists. Like all the artists who created all those characters, Disney and Marvel have made literally billions of dollars over the last 20 years on these Marvel movies. The writers and artists who created those characters aren't getting a penny. They're getting nothing. and it's a real shame. Let's okay. The next one I'm going to show you is called Spanky. This is the first appearance of Spanky, and there are a number of surprises in it. I'm having to search forward to the beginning of the film here. The file I have, it's not at the beginning, so okay. Spanky McFarlane's first appearance in Little Rascals was remarkable for a number of reasons. James says, yes, Navy Civil Engineer Corps. Yeah, I knew about the Civil Engineer. James and I exchanged emails a number of times. When he learned that I was a cartoonist, he said he did some illustration for the Department of Transportation here in Washington State. And he showed me some samples. He did some illustrations for their in-house newsletter. It was nice. Okay. Spanky's first appearance was in a okay, I've lost my place here. It was in a film, I think the name of the film was Spanky, wasn't it? Wasn't that the name? Yeah. George McFarlane was Spanky's real name. This is from 1930. This is Spanky. Look how tiny he was. He was only 3. 1932 this was made. Got flies.
Petey, I will shoot that fly.
Petey, I'm going to shoot that fly.
No, you wait.
Just you wait. The film, much of the film of Spanky we're going to see at the beginning of this film was actually his audition film. It was they shot some test film with him, and he was so charismatic, and the film was so hilariously entertaining that they used it. They said, we got to use this film. Look out, Petey. Yeah, Spanky's parents left Petey to take care of him. Petey's doing a good job.
I know Baba Black Sheep. I found it.
I know Baba Black Sheep, he says.
Oh, look at this funny thing.
Uh-oh.
Look what's on that. Here's your new nose. Here's your new nose. Turn on fast.
Oh, more
Oh,
bugs.
look at the big bug.
Avid says, is this the one where Spanky throws out his dad's cash? Yes. Just don't spoil it. Michelle says she doesn't remember this one. Avid says, I would love to show my granddaughter these films. Yeah. You can come back and watch this stream later. It'll all be recorded. You can show it to people.
For heaven's sake, Spanky, what on earth are you doing now?
I'm bug hunting.
I'm bug hunting.
Now, you let the bugs alone. Come on and get your bath.
1930... what year was it? 1932.
Yes, Mama's little baby boy. Take a good bath.
And get my hand down quick so put it off.
That's it. Splash! Splash it! That's it. All over your back. Hey, splash it.
See, this is just a... See, this is just a film of a baby laughing, and we're tremendously entertained.
Today. If you come butting in, I'm gonna give you a sock right on the nose. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Says you.
Says you.
Says I. Oh yeah, Wiz, will you pin my bustle on for me?
There's Weezer. We remember Weezer. Now this film, it starts off just being about
Bet we're
Spanky
gonna have a swell show, don't
taking
you,
a bath
Weezer?
and swatting
Hey,
bugs.
Otto, I'm gonna play Mark the lawyer, ain't I?
It takes a really dark turn here.
I'm gonna be pedophilia.
And this is the reason we never saw the entirety of this film on TV when we were growing up.
Why? Well, she got a bellyache. It would have to be you to break up the show with a bellyache. It ain't me that's got a bellyache, it's Mama's sister.
Weezer's a lot older.
Now, don't you follow me. Hi, fellas. How goes everything? Okay, but Topsy ain't coming. What's the matter with her? She got a bellyache. How did she get it? She had 2 cans of axle grease and it made her sick. Oh, now what are we gonna do? Well, I got it. You have to play Topsy and Uncle Tom both. How am I gonna be 2 people at once? Don't you see? You'll be Uncle Tom when you're not Topsy, and you'll be Topsy when you ain't Uncle Tom. You get it? I'm Topsy when I ain't Uncle Tom, and I'm Topsy when I Uncle Tom, and I'm Topsy when I ain't Uncle Tom, and I'm Topsy when I'm Uncle Tom. Oh, little big bug.
What are you doing?
Bug hunt.
I'm bug hunting.
Well, you never mind those bugs. You just come here and finish your breakfast. Yes. I could get rid of those pests. Father would buy some disinfectant.
Well, if the bugs can't live on what we live on, let them starve to death.
Well, it's a wonder they haven't starved to death. You're so stingy.
I'm not stingy. I'm only careful with my money.
If I knew where you'd hid all that money your grandfather left you, I'd spend every cent of it on the children.
Well, you'll never find it.
Say, listen, I have to have $10 today.
You'll get $5.
Michelle asks, what did he say she did with 2 cans? Stymie says his little sister ate 2 cans of axle grease and gave her a bellyache. Larry says the father, oh, there's his secret stash. His name is Billy Gilbert. He was the voice of Sneezy in Snow White. No kidding.
Brisbane! Oh, gee, Mom's calling me. I'll be right back, fellas.
Brisbane.
Did you call me, Mom?
Yes, I'm going shopping, and I want you to take care of the baby.
Oh, gee, Mom. We're putting on a big show at the
show or no show, you're going to take care of the baby.
Well,
Spanky with his golf outfit on.
back there, you little punk, and don't touch anything. Now the show's gonna be cracked with that hunky here.
Big show today. 4-act cast. Uncle Tom Stein. Yeah, this is.
Now listen, Weezer, every time Eva coughs, you pull a string like this. I got you.
Yeah. Abbott says, I think Spanky kept that outfit. Yeah, he wore that outfit for years. Okay, here's the show they're putting on at the barn. Oh my God.
Hey, shut that photograph off! Hello, Uncle Tom. How are you? I'm fine, little Eva. How's your cough today? My cough isn't so good today, Uncle Tom. Listen. You ain't gonna be long for this while. You're gonna bump off soon. Yes, I can hear the angels singing now. There you all are, you old rascal. Ground while I flog you. Now I'm gonna flog you all. Now I'm gonna flog you all. Now I'm gonna flog you all. Hey, somebody grab that kid and sit on him. Sit there and get talking so I can flog her.
In the early 20th century,
Time to be, you got a heart like a rock. You're crew whale.
Simon Legree.
Topsy.
In the early 20th century, there was an awful lot of films and cartoons that made references to Uncle Tom and Topsy and Little Eva and Simon Legree. The Uncle Tom
Flog you, gal.
the Uncle Tom story was much more familiar to people back in the day. Okay, Dorothy couldn't stand it anymore.
You all after dinner. How are you today? Little Eva, how are you cough? My cough isn't so good today. Listen. What's the matter with the cough? Get ready. The string broke. Topsy! Topsy! Here comes Ophelia. I gotta beat it. Did you see that little lamp? Oh, Topsy. Yes, I haven't seen her all day. Well, I'll fix that little lamp when I touch her. I can't find my way. Oh, gee whiz. What did you do with it? I don't know. I've got it. Here, I'll paint it on. Turn around. I'm Mars. Have a car. Oh, Mr. Mars. Are you Zippo or Groucho? I'm neither one. I'm Harpo.
Marx Brothers gag here. He goes with the flogging again.
Now, you old rascal, I was going to sail you all down the river. Please, Master Degree, don't sail me down the river. I'm going to be in no more more show unless you get rid of Spanky. Say, Speck, that gives me an idea. Why? Come on.
Who are these kids? Oh. Well, the big kids are going to throw vegetables at the little kids.
Now this is where little... Now this is the act where little Eva... Now this is the act where little Eva... Die! Auntie dear, I know something's going to happen. It has happened. You go on and die. I'll be right back, fellas. Uncle Tom, I'm going way up there, and I want to see little Topsy before I go. I'll run along and find Topsy for you, little Eva. Now, what the heck are you doing? Don't you raspberry me. Now, you get on up here and pick all this stuff up. I gotta get it back to that show. Don't worry, little Eva. You can expect anything in this here life. Hey, cut that out. Pick up those packs, will you?
How did Spanky do that? Is the kitchen upstairs?
Yes. I wanted to say goodbye. I'm going way up there. Well, so long. I'll be seeing you. Wow, that's the cough that got him. Bye, little
Uh-oh. I'm pretty sure the edit that we saw on TV as kids, it just skipped straight from the beginning over to this part with Spanky finding the money.
Now, fellas, I'm going to show you something great. Now, this is where Eliza. You never hit me, did you?
Wow. Michelle says kind of strange content for kids, I think, flogging, etc. Well, these films weren't made for children. They were made for general audiences. They were shown before feature films, so they were for adults. The same thing with cartoons at the time. They were for adult audiences. It wasn't until television, when all these properties were syndicated to television, that cartoons and these Little Rascals films and Three Stooges films got a reputation as being for children. There goes Spanky tossing the money out the window. That's what you were asking about before. Hey kids, there's a baby throwing money out the window.
Hey, you kids! Drop that money! Now get out of here! Stop that, you!
Okay, Dad is in a dilemma here. One or the other.
Go on, get away from here! Go on, beat it! Go on! I'll get you for this!
TTV Triple T1 is now following. Thank you.
You got a key to the house?
Thank you for the follow.
Stop that kid, will you? Come on, kids, help me pick this up, will you? Come on. Get it. Get it all. I'm going to put this in a good, strong bank. And I'm going to spend some of it on Mother and the kids.
He's learned his lesson.
Hey, go hold it! Hey, go hold it! Hey, go hold it! Yeah.
Hey, goat, hold it. All right, that was it for the 1932 film entitled Spanky. That was a weird one. Had a lot of unfortunate content there. TTV Triple T1, thank you for watching. Yeah, I see you there on Twitch. How did you find us? Let me know how you found this stream. He says Fortnite. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Anyway, avid viewer says very good. Yeah, it was good. I would edit it very differently today, as our local television stations edited it when we were kids. All right, the final one. It's 8:30. We're coming up on 8:30 here, so we'll be done shortly after 9 o'clock. The next one I'm going to show you, it's another Spanky film, and it'll be our first look at Alfalfa. This one is called Sprucin' Up, and it's the one where Spanky and Alfalfa are competing for the attention of the new little girl in town. Larry, if you have Abbott says it's 11:30 here. Larry, if you have some background to give us on Spanky McFarlane, please do. I'll pass it along. This one's from 1935, called Sprucin' Up. Spanky would have been 5 or 6.
Spanky, gonna sleep all day?
No, I don't feel very good.
Oh, but it's such a lovely day.
Yeah, but I'm awfully sick and I don't think I can go to school today.
You don't have to. Hurry, get dressed right away.
Hey, it's Saturday! Oh, it's Saturday! Oh, it's Saturday! Hi, Nanny, Nanny, and a hot cha-cha! Oh, it's Saturday! It's Saturday! Hi, Nanny, Nanny, and a hot cha-cha!
Spanky, did you wash?
Let me see.
Look at those ears. You could grow potatoes and go on.
Just look at those ears. You could grow potatoes in them. We've got 8 people watching now. 5 people on Twitch, 1 on Mixer,
Now, when you're through playing, you can really wash.
2 on YouTube.
Here.
Thank you for coming, everybody.
Scott, you cleaned every bit of the mud off of those shoes.
Oh, but today's Saturday.
You clean those shoes.
But today's Saturday. Did she call him Scott? I thought this kid's name was Mickey.
Alfalfa, did you brush your teeth?
Yep, both of them.
Well, before you go outside, you comb your hair.
Well, Tarzan don't never comb his hair.
Oh, you're not Tarzan.
Not Tarzan. Michelle says, thank you, I need to scoot. Well, thank you for watching, Michelle.
Your mother wants to make a sissy out of you.
What's he up to?
Hi, fellas.
There he says that's Scotty Beckett. He was teamed up with Spanky for a while. Okay.
Sporty the dog's life. Yes, all my mom wants me to do is keep polishing my shoes. They only get dirty again. And I'll be glad when I'm bald-headed. This business washing my face every day is getting me down. You're lucky.
And this is our first look at buckwheat, too. Avid says, I grew up on this and I'm 67.
Well, did it keep you waiting very long? Not at all, not at all. Well, I hope you'll like your new home.
I'm sure we will.
Well, Mr. Riley,
What?
somebody's moving in over there.
Yes. And do you know who that is?
No,
That's Mr. Jones, the new truant officer.
Uh-oh.
Yes. And you better not let him catch you playing hooky.
Boy, I'm going to get on the good side of him.
We better go in and get acquainted with it. Not a bad idea, not a bad idea.
Hey, listen.
Yes, Miss Jones.
I hope there's a lot of nice children around here to play with.
Oh, yes, indeed. They're all perfect ladies and gentlemen. Well, bye-bye. Have a lot of fun.
Ain't she pretty? Oh, boy, I'm going to be nice to her because if she likes me, her daddy will like me. You took the words right out of my mouth. Hello.
James is asking, is Robert Blake there? I don't believe so. I believe he came along later. Like the 1940s? I remember this scene vividly as a kid. Him putting all this lard in his hair. I remember thinking, is that a thing? Do people actually do that?
Coming around the mountains when she comes. Boom, boom.
Why, Alfalfa, what's happened to Tarzan?
He's gone Hollywood. Mom, a potato hasn't got a chance now.
Avid says it was back in the day where we could just go outside and play. Yep. Whoops.
Well, maybe she ain't home. But we'll wait anyway.
Here. That's enough of that monkey business. Now, you kids run along. And don't you come back.
Yeah, you kids all know better. Hello, neighbor. My name is Spanky.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Spanky? I'm Mr. Jones.
Have a cigar?
I don't care if I do. Thanks.
Oh, is there only two in your family, Mr. Jones?
Oh, no. I have a little daughter.
Why, you don't kill me. What a small world. Is Mrs. Jones in?
She's somewhere about.
Well, I got something for her.
That's all right, son. I'll give 'em to her.
You ought to put those in water. I'll go inside and get a vase.
Spanky's thinking quick here.
Hello. 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 My pal. You know Mr. Alfalfa? And how? Won't you sit down? Sure I will.
Ah, he tricked him. You're making the girl bored, guys.
Say, who's this funny-looking monkey? That happens to be me, partner. Thank you. I'm a pretty good-looking fella, ain't I? Mm-hmm. Say, how much would you charge to haunt a house?
How much would you charge to haunt a house?
Can you do that without wiggling your finger? Sure, you just right to your thumb. He's pretty smart, ain't he? I just haven't remembered. Do you like candy? I should say we do. Take some. Oh, thank you. Don't mention.
Avid says you've made my Saturday night. Well, I'm glad. We do a live stream every Saturday evening, so please,
Something in your eye?
please come back.
Hey, Spring, give me a hand.
And we always watch some
Thank you. Don't mention.
public domain films, some old, some recent.
There you
We'll be
are.
glad to have you as a regular.
There you are.
50th Street Studio, by the way, is a non-profit. I have a donation link in the description below where you can make donations, and we're tracking our donations for this month.
Personality, boy, personality. How'd you get in here? Brains, son, brains. How do you know you got brains? Well, the gang was outside, and I tooted the horn, and Mr. Jones came out and chased them away. Ain't that brains? Say, tell me that again, will you? Well, the gang was outside, and I tooted the horn. Mr. Jones came out and scared him away. Then I handed Mr. Jones a bouquet, and I was just on my way to get a vase. Boy, can you take 'em?
Oh. Whoa.
Whee! Here you are, Mr. Jones.
Well, thanks. Alfalfa, you're some little acrobat.
Thank you.
Avid says she subscribed. Well, thank you.
It's an acrobat. Oh, that's not so much. Well, what can you do? Whatever you do, I can do better. I can say I'll do it better. Don't mind me. Well, we're off. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Why, Percy, I thought you never would get here. Who are those two monkeys up there? 19. Oh, just a couple of boys from across the street. Well, come on, I got some tickets for the circus. Let's go. What shall I do to boys? Well, you run and get your wraps, and I'll see if they want to come along.
Uh-oh.
21. 22. 23. 24. Now listen. Whoever loses is gotta scram. Right. What are they going to do? Oh, they're going to hang around a while. Come on. 26. Hey, Spanky, look. We're a couple of prize dumbbells. Well, let's get down.
Uh-oh. This is pretty bad.
Hey, Spike, get it off.
Oh.
Thanks.
Hey, that's no way to play.
You're telling us.
Well, come on down from there now and make it snappy.
Uh-oh.
Get up over there! You!
Hey! Hey! And
Ouch.
from now on, no more women. Shake!
I suspect Mary. What? The end. Okay. That's it for tonight. Thank you everybody for watching. We still have 4 players left. Larry had a trivia question for everybody. He sent me a photo. He says, let's see if the chat knows what famous TV personality as a child had his picture taken with Petey. He sent me a photo here. I suspect I might know who it is. We'll see if everyone else has guesses first. Miranda says loved it. An avid viewer says thumbs up. Now take a look at that. Take a look at that photo. See if people can tell. And we'll get an answer from Larry if we're all stumped. Avid says Mr. Rogers. That was going to be my guess too. Fred Rogers. At first I was stumped. I looked at it and said, I have no idea who that is. But then I looked at it again. I think that was Fred Rogers. Is that right, Larry? Did we get it right? He says good guess. Does that mean correct? He says correct. Okay, so Avid got it. I'll give it to Avid. We don't have any prizes to give you except the recognition of a job well done here with the 3 other people watching. This is like I was saying, Avid. I do this every Saturday evening. We started out doing it on. We have a big screen here. We started out having a gathering every Saturday to show public domain movies, and now we're having to do it online. And we've developed a small party of regulars who come in every Saturday evening. Sometimes it's a lot of people, sometimes it's not. This started out strong. People didn't stick with us the whole time. We're glad to have new people come in. Hope you'll be a regular. Abbott says, no prize, just enjoyed this. Well, good. Come back next week. I don't know what we'll show next week. I haven't been scheduling things in advance because we talk about it. We talk about what we're going to show each week. I'm stumped. I don't know what to show at all. I like showing the silent stuff. I don't have a big collection of silent stuff. I had on my list Flying Deuces, the Laurel and Hardy film, but I watched it all the way through a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't crazy about it. It started off real strong, one of their best routines ever, with bumping their heads on the ceiling while they're washing their hands. Hilarious, just screamingly funny. But the rest of the film, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was funny at all. Miranda is saying Bigfoot and Wild Boy. We'll do that maybe some Saturday morning. We won't do that for a Saturday evening. But maybe one of the things that I showed on the 12-hour marathon a few weeks ago, I showed the Agatha Christie mystery. What was it? And Then There Were None. I might show that next week. That was an enjoyable watch through. We may officially do it next week. Is that okay with everybody? The Agatha Christie mystery. And Then There Were None. Would you like to see that? Give me a little bit of feedback here. I know there's a bit of a delay. And please make donations if you can. There's links in the description below. Larry says it's one of my favorites. And Miranda says I would watch that again. Larry, the one that we show is a black and white version from what year? What year was that from? Avid says yes. James says okay. What year was that from? Do I still have it? No, I don't have it. It was from the 30s or 40s. Yeah, I don't have a copy on my desktop anymore. I can dig it up. I have it on the external drive. Yeah, I remember that being a good watch through. 1946, is that it, Larry? And I don't remember any personalities that were in it, except the butler was played by the man who did the voice of the caterpillar in Disney's Alice in Wonderland. Very recognizable, because he was the same voice, doing the same crazy accent. But yeah, that's what we'll show next week. And Then There Were None. The first actual mystery movie that we've shown. Well, Charade was a bit of a mystery movie. It was more of a thriller. Would you put Charade in the mystery category? Huh, I guess so. There were murders. There was a mystery murderer. Yeah, I guess so. All right, and then the week after that, I'll think about the week after that. Yeah, I'll start thinking about that. So I'll come up with something a little more modern. Maybe we'll show Manos again, and have someone do a watch through with me where we can talk. I won't be streaming from this location. This will be the last time I live stream from the studio space here. There's a house where I'm renting a bedroom. I'll be able to stream from there. But this is the last time you'll see me live streaming from here. I recorded a lot of book reviews for my personal YouTube channel, the 30 Second Sci-Fi. science fiction book review channel, I recorded a lot of reviews here, so anyone who watches will be seeing this set on those videos, and they'll go on. Those will go on for weeks. I recorded a great many of them while I had the opportunity. But meanwhile, that's it for this location. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for coming back, and thank you to new viewers. And next week we'll watch And Then There Were None. And that'll be it for tonight. Good night.